The American dream was built on the idea that anyone, regardless of their background, can achieve success and prosperity through hard work and determination. This concept, promoted by the media, government, and pop culture, has become a cornerstone of American identity, luring millions of people from around the world. It paints a picture of limitless opportunities where everyone has a fair shot at achieving their goals and living a fulfilling life. But this shining promise, which has drawn immigrants and inspired generations for so long, is rooted in a much different reality. Beneath this idealized image lies a carefully crafted narrative that often overlooks deep-seated inequalities and systemic injustices. The media and government push the idea that success is within reach for anyone, yet they fail to address the real obstacles many people face. By glorifying individual success stories and ignoring collective struggles, American culture reinforces the belief that failure is a personal shortcoming rather than a result of society's structural flaws. In this way, the American dream continues to be a beacon of hope for some, while for others, it's nothing more than an unattainable mirage. The rosy image of the American dream promises that anyone, no matter where they come from, can achieve success and prosperity through effort and dedication. However, reality shows that this ideal is far more out of reach than it seems. In practice, the American dream primarily benefits those who are already in a privileged position, with access to financial resources, quality education, and influential networks. For most people, especially those from disadvantaged socioeconomic backgrounds, this dream turns out to be a distant goal, where the odds of overcoming are increasingly limited by the social and economic structures that perpetuate inequality. Economic disparities in the United States are glaring and have only grown over the past few decades. While a small elite accumulates ever-increasing wealth, millions of Americans struggle to get by on inadequate wages, with no access to essential benefits like healthcare and quality education. These inequalities create an insurmountable gap between the haves and the have-nots, making the American dream unattainable for the majority. The rising cost of living, coupled with stagnant wages, places millions of families in a precarious situation where mere survival becomes the primary goal, rather than prosperity or success. The situation is even tougher for marginalized groups, such as racial and ethnic minorities, who face deeply entrenched systemic barriers. These communities have historically been excluded from opportunities that are widely accessible to the white majority and the upper classes. Structural racism and discrimination not only limit access to well-paying jobs and quality education, but also perpetuate a cycle of poverty that is incredibly difficult to break. For many of these people, the American dream is a hollow promise, constantly thwarted by a system that doesn't offer everyone the same chances. Moreover, the lack of an adequate social safety net only worsens the situation for those who are already at a disadvantage. While other developed countries provide more robust support systems for their citizens, like universal health care and accessible education, the United States stands out for its lack of such protections. This means that those who fall on the wrong side of inequality often have no way to get back on their feet. Without a system that truly promotes equal opportunity, the American dream becomes a nightmare, where the rich continue to thrive while the poor face insurmountable barriers to improving their lives. The promise of the American dream suggests that social mobility is within everyone's reach, requiring only hard work and determination. However, the reality is far darker and more complex. Studies show that in the United States, social mobility, the ability for a person to significantly improve their financial standing compared to their parents, is extremely limited. For those born into low-income households, the chances of climbing the economic ladder are drastically reduced, largely because the system favors those who are already in a position of advantage. The inequality of opportunity creates nearly insurmountable barriers for those trying to break the cycle of poverty. The widely held belief that hard work alone guarantees success ignores the many layers of obstacles that people face. Racism, sexism, and other forms of structural discrimination remain powerful forces that limit the opportunities of millions of Americans. These obstacles aren't just isolated incidents, but are deeply ingrained elements of society that affect access to education, the job market, and even housing. The meritocracy so highly praised in American culture is, in reality, an illusion for many who, despite their efforts, find themselves blocked by a system that doesn't offer everyone the same chances to succeed. Education, which should be one of the primary drivers of social mobility, often reflects and reinforces these inequalities. Schools in low-income areas receive less funding, offer fewer resources, and provide fewer opportunities for academic success. As a result, children from these communities often leave school less prepared for the workforce or higher education. Even those who manage to overcome these initial barriers still face discrimination in higher education and the job market, perpetuating the cycle of inequality. Thus, the American dream remains out of reach for many, while disproportionately benefiting those born into more favorable circumstances. The end result is a deeply unequal society, where opportunities are far from evenly distributed. The American dream becomes more of a story told to keep hope alive than a genuine promise of equality. In practice, it serves to justify the status quo rather than promote true equity. Those who are already in positions of advantage, whether through economic inheritance, race, gender, or other factors, are the ones who benefit the most, while those starting life at a disadvantage face a constant struggle just to stay afloat. For the American dream to become a reality for everyone, there would need to be a profound restructuring of the social and economic systems that currently perpetuate these inequalities. From childhood, Americans are immersed in a culture that glorifies material success and social status as the primary indicators of personal value and fulfillment. This narrative, deeply rooted in the myth of the American dream, distorts the perception of what is truly necessary for a full and happy life. The media, advertising, and even educational institutions reinforce the idea that owning things, achieving power, and gaining public recognition are the keys to happiness. This constant barrage creates immense pressure on people to accumulate wealth and prestige, regardless of the toll on their mental and emotional health. The relentless pursuit of these goals often leads to burnout, anxiety, and a chronic sense of dissatisfaction, as true happiness cannot be found in material things. As a result of this cultural manipulation, millions of people fall into the trap of measuring their self-worth and happiness by what they own and how they can display it to the world. In a society where consumerism is king, human connections and emotional well-being are often pushed to the back burner. People come to believe that by acquiring more possessions and status, they will finally achieve happiness, but this pursuit ends up being an illusion. The emptiness left by a lack of meaningful accomplishments and deep relationships cannot be filled with money or material goods. This vicious cycle of chasing external success fuels a culture of despair and dissatisfaction, where people are constantly chasing something they can never truly attain. The culture of the American dream not only distorts the perception of what it takes to be happy, but also fosters a society where competition and extreme individualism reign supreme. The idea that everyone must fend for themselves to achieve success creates an atmosphere of distrust and rivalry, where mutual support and solidarity are seen as weaknesses. This competitive mindset hinders the building of strong, supportive communities, as people view each other as rivals in an unrelenting race for success, rather than as partners who can support each other. With the emphasis on individual success, collective needs are often overlooked, resulting in a fragmented and alienated society. The absence of a robust social safety net exacerbates this situation, leaving individuals vulnerable to economic fluctuations and personal crises without the necessary support to bounce back. When collective well-being is sacrificed in favor of individual success, the result is a nation where social isolation, depression, and alienation reach alarming levels. Many people feel they are fighting alone in a system that doesn't care about their well-being, leading to feelings of hopelessness and disconnection. Although the American dream promises happiness and fulfillment through individual success, for many, this pursuit ends in fragmented lives and superficial relationships, where the true sense of community and mutual support is lost. To transform reality and overcome the failures of the American dream, we must first deconstruct the myths that sustain it. This begins with the collective awareness of the deep-seated inequalities and injustices within the system. We need to question the narratives that exalt individualism and material success above all else and promote values that prioritize collective well-being, solidarity, and equal opportunities. Creating a new narrative can help redefine what it means to succeed, focusing on a balanced life and a more just and inclusive society. Beyond changing our mindset, it's crucial to take action on multiple fronts to create a more equitable future. This includes implementing public policies that address economic inequality, such as tax reforms, improved access to education and healthcare, and the creation of strong social support programs. It's also essential to foster a culture of social responsibility, where companies and individuals feel compelled to contribute to the common good. Only through these concrete actions and a profound shift in cultural values can we begin to turn the American dream from a dangerous illusion into a reality accessible to all. Like the content? Subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. For more shocking revelations, check out the video, The Terrifying Influence of the Illuminati, where we delve into the hidden power of this secret society and its alleged global influence. See you there.